Hey guys, I'm Wolfie, and today we are going to talk 49ers versus Bears and some big news that we'll get into here in a second. And then we'll go, of course, talk about Hufanga coming back, the defense, how's that going, and the state of the franchise. And then, of course, we'll check out the Kyle Shanahan's presser. There's some good things to jump into today. I hope we have a great conversation. And that's what I always expect from these lives, man. It's always fantastic, always awesome. I'm glad that you guys are here. Cue the intro. 49ers. Wolfie. That's my intro, guys. All right, welcome. All right, here we go. Papa J in the house. Let's get this dub, faithful. No fucking doubt. Let's go get it. Brian 49, good to have you. Good to have you. I love that we're showing some love. That's what I like to see. Let me go ahead and bring the chat up so that way I don't miss anything. Sometimes the chat doesn't exactly pop up on here, so I got to have like double the chat viewage so that way I don't miss anything at all. All right, let me turn down the volume so you don't hear double voices here. And we're showing some love. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Now, I had a whole thing where I feel like we should jump right into Kyle Shanahan's presser, but there's some big news that has been revealed by Ian Rappaport. I don't know if you guys heard it. It's just I saw that Brad Graham from the SF9ers reported like 30 minutes ago. It's a huge thing this morning. The 49ers plan on giving Brock Purdy a massive contract. Let's fucking go, man. I am so excited. I am so excited. This man is the best quarterback we've had since Steve Young. He has so much potential. His anticipation's elite. He can read defenses. He can throw on the run. He's actually got run ability. This man, I love this guy. To me right now, I think he's an elite quarterback. Some people want to disagree with that. I can't argue with that. I can't argue that right now, of course, with this down year that's currently happening. But last year, he was elite. It's only been 2.5 years, so you can't exactly say he's going to be a Hall of Famer or not. You can't make these proclamations right now. But I think personally he's an elite quarterback. I think he deserves this contract. 7th-round draft pick. What a steal. Well-deserved. I can't wait to see what those contract details are. Hopefully he takes a pay cut. That would be great. Just fingers crossed. But if he does it, it doesn't matter because it's well-deserved. This man is better than Dak Prescott. He's better than Jalen Hurts. I think he's a top 5 quarterback, but at the very least, you got to believe he's a top 10 quarterback. This man has it. He deserves every single dollar coming his way. He is the reason we beat the Green Bay Packers last year in the playoffs. Big game, biggest stage, showed up, down, huge comeback against the Lions. Yes, the aggressiveness of the Lions was one of the reasons why we came back to win that game. But if it wasn't for Brock Purdy's play, if we had Jimmy Garoppolo-esque play from Brock Purdy in that Lions game, it would have been over. If Brock Purdy was not a top 10, top 5 quarterback at all, guess what? We would not have made it to the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy is that guy. Brock Purdy's going to elevate this team. We're going to go far with him, man. I'm so fucking happy about it, dude. I cannot fucking wait, dude. He deserves every single dollar that he gets. Congratulations, Brock Purdy. I can't wait to see that number. We're probably not going to see anything. I've heard that you cannot sign this quarterback because he's a 7th-round pick, 3 years. You have to wait a certain period of time to give it to him. But in the playoffs, once the playoffs start, I heard that you can go ahead and sign him and give him that contract. If the 49ers need to do what they did with Diamador Lenore, which is give him the contract as soon as possible, which they did with him in the middle of the season, which I'm totally for because that was the cheapest time to get him that kind of a contract. So I promise you, next year, if Diamador Lenore had a contract next year, it would have been significantly more money. So they did what they had to do. Hopefully, the 49ers do what they have to do with Brock Purdy here. Sign him as soon as possible and give him that massive contract. Oh, my God. I am so fucking happy. I am such a happy 49ers fan to hear that news. I was concerned. If the 49ers wanted to wait a year, I wouldn't have hated it. But I do know that at some point, he was going to get this contract. He was going to get this deal. I knew it. From the start. No matter how you feel about him, I knew this was going to happen. Fantastic. I fucking love it. I can't wait. Cannot wait. I'm so happy for him, man. I'm so happy for him. Bro, you definitely need an intro. I don't know, man. It's kind of like I like getting to the point, you know. I feel like intros are just a little if you want to intro on your videos and stuff, man, I feel like that's your thing. That's fine. I don't bash on people who have intros, but I feel like just jumping into the conversation is like the best way to go. And my intro is just saying, hey guys, I'm Wolfie. You guys are awesome. Let's fucking talk some football. What up, what up, what up? 70 million? Ooh, dude, that would be a lot of money, bro. That'd be a lot of money. I don't know if it'll be 70 million, but if it's 70 million, if that's the asking price for a quarterback, we'll see. But we'll see. QB cap incoming. They're going to backload this contract 110%. They believe in Brock Purdy. They think he's a franchise. They're going to backload this contract when the cap is going to be a lot larger. That's what the 49ers do. They know that the cap gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger every year. So if you take a massive salary cap, like right now, 70 million sounds a lot right now. But here in about 3-4 years or whatever, if you backtrack it, that's actually less percentage of the cap. So there's actually a huge benefit of backloading the contract. They're going to backload this contract 110%. They're going to do what they can to make him happy, but also try to work with this team. And when you backload contracts, guess what? The cap percentage shrinks every single year until you hit that cap. So that's what they're going to end up doing. That's what the 49ers have been doing for a while now, too, with all kinds of contracts. Every contract, they become backtracked. The only problem with when you back end contracts, if that player ends up becoming bad or if they end up becoming washed, it's a pretty big cap hit. It's pretty huge. So I'm not saying like every team should do it, but if you think this guy who's 24, 25, I can't remember how old he is, he's 24, 25, Brock Purdy is, and you think he's a franchise quarterback, right? Top 10 quarterback at the very least. He deserves his contract. He's going to get paid. He should have the 5 years, whatever it may be that he deserves with this contract. I'm super excited, man. I'm pumped. I'm super pumped. Let's go, right for real. 49ers last chance. I do not think it's the last chance. I do not. We're set up for the future, man. We are set up for the future. Because guess what? We had an excellent draft this previous year. We have some players that are going to be starters that were from 2 years. We did the math. I can't remember how many shows ago where we literally are on track to have young players, not old ones, but we have young players that are going to start for this team for the future. 2026, 2027, 2028. This team is set up for a good draft. They just need one good offseason. They're just one good offseason away from reloading and setting themselves up for the future. You got Bernardo Green, who's looking like a stud, Diamador Lenore, you got Jair Brown, you got Mustafa, you got Fred is still relatively young for what he is, and he's still an elite linebacker. But you still, Greenlaw, depending upon what he is, you still need to find a spot for that. Nick Bosa, for what he is as a pass rusher, is still the same. He's just injured this year. We need to go out and find a D tackle, that's right, and a pass rusher. Offensive line, we got Pooney, which is fantastic. He's an excellent player. Got to work on the offensive line. As for running back, you got Isaac Rendo, who's looking like an absolute stud. Jordan Mason might stick around. CMC is going to be here for the next 2 to 3 years guaranteed just because they restructured his contract that way. You got Brandon Ayuk. I'm not going to say this is who Brandon Ayuk is this past offseason just because, like, you're allowed – like, he had this holdout. Right? What is he going to do next year? If he's this same player next year, Ayuk is, then I hear you. 5 years, we're stuck with mediocrity. But if we get the old Ayuk of who he was back next year, I'm all for it. I'm sold. And that's going to be a future wide receiver, number one wide receiver there. George Kittle, we do need to find a backup to George Kittle there as well. Pearsall, honestly, a lot of people want to bag on Pearsall right now, but, I mean, the dude did not have preseason. He did not have training camp. He did not play during the season. It's not fair to judge Pearsall right now. And also, even if he did have a bad season this year, you cannot say he's going to be bad for the foreseeable future at all. So the future is bright for this team. It's still bright. There's still a lot of positions that have been filled for the future. It just looks grim because you're looking at the superstars who are getting older, such as Debo. Trent is going to most likely be out. And like I said, I did say Nick Bosa, but Nick Bosa is still in his 20s, which is huge for a pass rusher. So I don't know about last chance. I wouldn't agree with that one, but I hear what you're saying, and like last chance for probably this era, right? Maybe this era is probably gonna be over of football with these players. Like we're probably gonna. I can't see us getting rid of Trent Williams next year or Debo just because we restructured their contracts. So they're probably going to stick around next year as well, even though I think they're washed, right? So I don't know. I get what you're saying by last chance, as in like for this era maybe, but as last chance for this team, I don't agree with that, respectively. One in the house. I hope the 49ers sign Purdy, but I think we should wait until the end of the season to see how much money he should get paid. If he returns to his normal form, I'd pay him $60 million. If Brock Purdy, so Brock Purdy is having a down year, but there's just so many things that are super against him. Last in separation with his wide receivers. Offensive line is terrible. No CMC. It's just everything's working against him this year. But to say that he's not going to be a Hall of Famer, to compare him to Jalen Hurts, when Jalen Hurts has the exact same equivalent of weapons that Brock Purdy had last year, and yet Jalen Hurts can't even get one stat, a QB stat, first overall. Not one stat. Brock Purdy had one of the most efficient passing quarterback plays of all time in NFL history last year with those set of weapons. Jalen Hurts, not even close. Not even close. I hate that comparison more than anything on the face of the earth. Not even 105 passer rating and 192.2 passer rating all time. It's not the same. They're not comparable. I'm sorry. One grade is a B grade. I literally did the math. Where's my paper? I had a mathematician do the math. Literally, Brock has an 87%. Based on the greatest passer rating season of all time was Aaron Rodgers with 120 something. And if you actually do the math, 105 through Brock Purdy's passer rating is a B. Jalen Hurts currently has a C with 92.2. And Jalen Hurts is working with weapons that are equivalent to what Brock Purdy had last year. You could argue that Jalen Hurts has a better weapons than Brock Purdy had last year based on the fact that his offensive line is top 5. So, and Jalen Hurts can't read a defense. He can't throw on the run. I'm going on a rant here, but Brock Purdy has shown more potential than Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts got a fat fucking contract, right? I think Brock Purdy deserves this contract. He deserves to have a chance to prove himself. You cannot say he's not a Hall of Famer yet. I can't remember who said this, but I watched this. Someone said that Joe Montana went 8-23 before he went off and started winning Super Bowls. It's been 2.5 years. You cannot say that he's this guy. You cannot say he is this guy in 2.5 years. And it drives me nuts. There was a recent video I watched of someone saying that he's like Russell Wilson today. That is fucking crazy to me. Russell Wilson is not even, to me, even on the Steelers, he's not even a top 15 quarterback. So are you telling me that Russell Wilson, he's Russell Wilson now? Get out of here. Get out of here. And I can't, it drives me nuts that also people are ignoring the fact that this is the worst season that any football team has ever gone through when it comes to things outside of their control. I've been begging people to give me, begging people to give me a season where someone had what Brock Purdy's going through with things outside of the control, from personal tragedies to injuries to Debo even being fucking washed and having been the focal point. There was another personal tragedies, injuries, just everything going against this team. Find me a team that went through everything that Brock Purdy is going through, the team that he has to deal with, and gone to the playoffs, won a Super Bowl, whatever. It's just not fair. It's truly not fair. It's truly draftism. People are looking at where he was drafted and saying, hey, since he's not a first-round draft pick, there is no way that Brock Purdy can be this good. So let me make up every fucking possible reason why he's not this good. It's not fair. And you need to take away the draft stuff. Look what he's doing. He single-handedly is the reason we went to the Super Bowl. If it wasn't for Brock Purdy, we would not have gone to the Super Bowl. We would not have beaten the Green Bay Packers. We would not have beaten the Lions. It would not have happened. And I'm sorry, if your quarterback is one of the reasons why you fucking go to a Super Bowl, you pay that guy. You pay him. And if he turns out, okay, there's one caveat to this where I'll be like, okay, I'll get on board. If next year and all this shit doesn't happen and Brock Purdy is mid at best, then I'll start being like, okay, this is who he's consistently turning out to be, right? He's consistently doing this. 1 year does not define a player. It does not define a player, especially one where all this shit that's happening outside of his control. It's just not fair. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. All right, so that's my opinion on everything that's happening with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy deserves this contract, and I do agree that I'm not going to say he's a Hall of Famer. Do I think he will be? Like, I believe it, yes, but that's not the same as me arguing with you that he is one, right? Because I can't say that for a fact he is one, right? I can't do that. But we can't just let this guy walk and be like, oh, let him go succeed with another team and suddenly he's dominating. Or he takes that team to the playoffs and he's the reason why they win a playoff game. Dak Prescott had everything going his way in the regular season, lost in the playoffs. Jalen Hurts had the same thing. He needed to elevate his team last year. Completely couldn't do it. Lost to the Bucs. Brock Purdy beat the Buccaneers 23-20 with the shit that's happened this year. And don't tell me, oh, Bosa was in that game. Bosa did not play good in that game. It's wild to me. Brock Purdy is doing way more than what Jalen Hurts even had. So you cannot say this is who Brock Purdy is. You cannot say that Brock Purdy is Jalen Hurts, because even if you were to argue 2.5 years is enough time, Jalen Hurts cannot do the things that Brock Purdy is doing with the same weapons, with better protection. Brock Purdy had a bottom 5 protection last year, went to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts has a top 5 offensive line, weapons galore. Has a shit fucking completion percentage compared to what Brock Purdy was doing. It's not even close. It's wild. It's what we're okay with giving Jalen Hurts money. We're okay with giving Dak money, even though Brock Purdy has done significantly more than they have in 2.5 fucking years. 2.5 years, Brock Purdy has done more than they have in their collective years. So I understand that people want to be, I'm not going to say he's a Hall of Famer, but I'm also going to say he's not a Hall of Famer. Because the people are saying that he's not a Hall of Famer, stick to that. That's what you're saying. So one day that he becomes a Hall of Famer, you're fucking wrong. It's not an opinion. It's not what you believe. You're saying he's not a Hall of Famer. And when you tell me that he's not a Hall of Famer, you're proclaiming that this is who he is throughout his entire career. Not of, who is he now? So if you're going to say this, you better fucking stick to it. If you tell me, I believe this, that he could do this, I could be proven wrong, that is completely different. That's not the same. You are not proclaiming this is who he is. Wild. 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 Can't do it. I got my dog outside. I'll be right back. I'll read some comments. I'll be right back. I'm here. All right, go. Who let the dogs out? That's all I comment. I hope the Niners sign Purdy, but I think we should wait until the end of the season to see how much money he should get paid. If he returns to this normal form, I would pay him like $60 million. And I totally get where you're coming from. One, if that's reasonable, right? That's reasonable. But as me as a fan, I would pay him immediately. I'd pay him as soon as possible. They don't want drama. Also, as Brian Ayuk again, so sign him, man. That's also true. You don't want that QB carousel. But I want you guys to know that there's always going to be a QB controversy. There's always going to be a QB carousel argument. It's always going to happen until Brock Purdy wins a Super Bowl. Heck, even if Brock Purdy wins a Super Bowl, people are going to say it's not because of him. It's just how it is. Tom Brady went through it, and the only way Tom Brady broke that was he literally went, I believe he went 3 Super Bowls, and people were still calling him a game manager and not that great of a quarterback, and that he's being carried. 3 Super Bowls. He was a 6th rounder, so people can't believe that he could be this good of a quarterback. So I want you guys to understand that no matter what, most likely Brock Purdy is always going to have this stigma. There's always going to be content creators shitting on Brock Purdy no matter what. It's going to happen. I want you guys to brace for that. Right? It's going to happen. And the only thing that we can do as fans is recognize the truth. Recognize this motherfucker won us a Super Bowl. If it happens, of course, if it happens. We need to recognize what has this guy done for us, right? And us as fans need to recognize that. There's going to be content creators that are going to jump on the grifting. Because there's one thing that I feel like some people don't they know it, but they don't really like put it into their emotions and stuff. Positive content does not pull in the amount of people with negative content. If you have negative content, you're not only are you going to pull in people who are agitated, who are angry, who are frustrated, who are really pissed off that a Super Bowl or expectations was taken from them. You're going to get those people. You're also going to get people who do not like the 49ers. So you're going to get Seahawks fans. You're going to get Cardinals fans. You're going to get Rams fans. You're going to get Raiders fans. You're going to get Cowboys fans. You're going to entertain more of a base than you are talking positive. Grifting is a real thing. Clout is a real thing. There's a reason why it does better than positive news. No fucking Seahawks fan is going to want to hear me talk good about the 49ers. No Cowboys fan is going to want me to say, I love Brock Purdy, he's amazing. No Cowboys fan is going to want to hear that. They're going to want to hear me talk shit. So us as fans, we need to recognize what the truth is and what people are just trying to do. That's just the way of life. That's just the way of content creating. That's just the way of going viral. That's just life. And I want you guys to prepare for that. If Brock Purdy gets paid, there's going to be huge backlash. Huge. It's just how it is. And us as fans, we just got to recognize it and be like, some people are just haters. Because they are. Brian, I agree. 40s have learned their lesson from Ayuk. Finding a great QB is hard in the NFL. Niners haven't had one in a while, so we need to never let Purdy go. 110%. I don't think that I think someone brought this up. Well, we need to just get rid of Purdy and just keep trying to find somebody on the level of Mahomes and Josh Allen. Why? That's impossible to find. That's not easy to find. Just because Josh Allen, I don't remember if they're the same draft, but I'm pretty sure there were back-to-back drafts, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, right? That doesn't happen every year, right? You need to be happy with a top 10 quarterback, right? You need to be happy with that. I don't understand why people think that you need to be the number one quarterback. It has to be top two. This is not Madden, okay? This isn't a game of Madden where you could just draft a quarterback, upgrade their attributes, do all the things right, and suddenly they're always going to be the best quarterback. This isn't Madden. Players have bad years. Josh Allen has bad years. Patrick Mahomes has bad years. Everyone has bad years. Everyone. It happens. Facts, Juan. Facts. If the by the way, I meant this game is the last chance for this. Okay. That makes sense. All right. I got you, Juan. I got you. I was actually kind of shocked by that response. I was like, if you want to believe that, it's cool. I'm not going to hate you for it. My bad. That's my fault. My fault for misconstruing that comment. My fault. My bad. I'm embarrassed. I'm turning red. I'm sorry. But I do agree. This is the last dance. If we lose to the Bears, Dolphins, Rams, and Cardinals, one of those games, it's over. Right? And I've been preaching that for weeks on end. Okay. I have not jumped ship because it's Green Bay. Haven't jumped ship since Bills or Seahawks game. I've been very consistent on the roadmap that I've drawn up. I've been very consistent. This game is important. If we lose this game, I'm going to proclaim the season is over. I will agree. I will finally agree that the season is over at that point. I'll agree at that point. Debo Prods! Yo, I'm going to the game. There is a error with the tickets. Oh, sad day, bro. That sucks. I'm jealous. 110%, man. I wish I could go to the game. I have not been to a professional football game before. One day. Ricky got shot. Give him a break already. Congrats, more. Yeah, 110%, man. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I don't know what is happening. Hey, I hope you figure it out, dude, because you got to go to those games, bro. Dude, first games are awesome. Hope they win. Yeah, I honestly, I was a hater towards going to live games. And when I was in high school, I went to a high school game And I was like, oh my God, this energy is awesome. I love this energy. It's fantastic. Imagine if I went to a real football game, like a professional one. So I can only imagine it's awesome. So I can only imagine it's awesome. Yeah, I think Moxtra sucks. Yeah, I think we could turn to our normal form next year. This year has just been so unlucky in every single possible fucking way imaginable. Tyler Helton in the house. Good to see it, Chiefs fan. Best Chiefs fan I know, man. No one hate on Tyler. He's a cool guy. He doesn't talk shit. You know, Tyler's a cool guy. It happened last time the Lions lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. No doubt. No. Brock will get paid. It's the market. Dak, too, and Trevor all just got paid. Niners don't pay him. Someone else will. Tough to find QBs. He has earned a bag. Exactly. I mean, even if you hate Brock Purdy or if you feel like he's not worth the 65, 70 million, you got to admit he deserves more than Trevor Lawrence. You know what I mean? You got to admit that. There's no way that you could say that he doesn't deserve more than that. There's just not. I can't take you seriously if you think that. I just can't. Jalen Hurts. I personally believe that Jalen Hurts is overrated for sure. I feel like Purdy's been more mobile than Hurts this season. I feel like Purdy's recognizing that these everything that's bad that's happening, players not getting open, etc. You know what I mean? He has to do it himself. Some people want to say that when he dove for that touchdown, that's when he injured his shoulder. I kind of agree with that because I just do. I agree with that. We put Hurts. Facts, Karen. Watson. Steve-O in the house. Hey man, I like Steve-O. Steve-O's I remember growing up watching I'm going off track here, but Jackass. What was that show he's on? Wild Boys or something? Great show. Sounds like bullshit how the media treat Brock. It's always going to happen, people. I want you to know that Brock Purdy's hate is going to happen for years to come. The dude could win 3 Super Bowls. It won't matter. Screw Nick Wright. 110%, man. Nick Wright is just – I already know that because Brock – if there's one thing I do usually – except for recently, I made a short talking about how Nick Wright's been a little inconsistent this year. But I do think that Nick Wright is very consistent in his takes. Like if he thinks Brock Purdy is not good, he's going to do everything in his power to try to bring Brock Purdy down, right? That's what I mean by consistent. He's consistent in his hate. He's consistent in his takes. And that's kind of why I do watch his show. It's just that even though I don't like the way he talks about the 49ers, I like the fact that he just sticks to what he's saying. He sticks to it, right? If he says this, he says it. And this is what it is, right? And I don't expect everyone to agree with me all the time. So I can't expect that. People forget it's a team sport. You need all 3 phases to win. Brock's one person. Joe Burrow's 4-8. I know Joe Burrow is having the crazy season, dude. Some people want to give him MVP, and I would want to give him MVP too. But there is truth to the fact that your team needs to be winning, right? Your team needs to be winning. But if you took away that factor, I'd argue Joe Burrow is MVP. That dude is playing lights out, dude. Lights out football. Facts, Wolf. Hey, appreciate it. Let's go. I officially got tickets. I'm so happy. Let's fucking go. Everyone, shout out to more prods, dude. Good luck, man. Hope you enjoyed. Bang, bang, not again. Chill out for Let's go, Chiefs. Go, Chiefs. Hey, let's not hate on Tyler. He's pretty chill. Let's not hate on Tyler. He's one of the good ones. He's one of the good ones. Let's not hate too much. Hello, everybody. This is Greg from Stockton, California. Yes, I'm a very big 49ers fan, even though your host doesn't know what he's talking about. I love it. I love it. Tyler, hey, we're showing some love. That's why I like to do referees for Chiefs. Let's go, Chiefs. Easy 49ers fan. Hey, let's not talk shit about Tyler. He's cool. GD, goddamn, I'm excited. Great signing with that Willie guy from the Brewers. Oh man, I'm not a baseball guy. I really not. I if the Giants go to the World Series, I'll pay attention to it. I will. Right. Same thing with the Warriors. If the Warriors go to the playoffs, I'll pay attention to the NBA Finals. I'll pay attention a little bit to that. But I'm what you call a casual when it comes to. I wouldn't even call me a casual in baseball. I wouldn't even do that. Basketball, sort of a casual. But I'm definitely a casual when it comes to those sports. Hockey, I haven't paid attention to hockey in forever, man. It's been full go football ever since I started this channel. It's been nothing but football. Who let the dogs out? Who? Who let Tribe in? Just kidding. Greg, what up? Nobody in the 49ers chat cares about the Chiefs. Come on, Papa J. Hey, man. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Brian. He's a good guy. Trust. He knows not to bring up the Super Bowl stuff. Okay. He's yet to bring up Super Bowl stuff. He's actually pretty chill. I know Buster Posey already paying dividends. Trolling to be trolls. How did I miss this? That this started. Strawberry in the house. Good to see you, man. Good to see you as always. Normally I go at 9 a.m., but I lost track of time. I completely lost track of time. I looked up. It was like 9:11 or like 9:10 or something, and I was like, fuck. Games are started. I'm talking. Some of Cohen's top donors are Chiefs and Rams. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you got, coming back to what I said, like, haters just get more of a base. Hello, Strawberry, Fields forever. No doubt, man. Strawberry's dope, dude. He's a good guy. I like his takes. We don't agree on everything. Good guy, though. Tyler's one of our Chiefs fans that comes around. He's cool. You couldn't pay me to be in a Chiefs chat. They can't afford it. Tyler doesn't really show. Yeah, does this on Chiefs fan? I'll almost skip all that, but you guys know. Strawberry's nice. She never trolls in here. No doubt. The Brock haters do it for clicks and attention. Nick, Jesse, Grant, Rob, just ignore them. He'll always be criticized because of his draft plays. The goalposts will continue to be moved. I know. It just kind of come back to the whole Trey Lance thing, dude. I'm not trying. I try to avoid this because I keep preaching this. I have to be held to a higher standard, but it's just so fucking hard leaving that part behind me, dude. And I want you guys to know I'm trying. I'm not perfect. I'm doing my best to not talk shit. I'm doing my best. Okay. But yes, as long as like the flip-flopness, it's whatever, if something bad happens, expect certain content creators to jump on it, right? The one thing I don't understand is like when someone says, oh, well, it looks like this content creator is right. That content creator has been saying this for the past 6 years, 7 years. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of what I preach. If you keep shooting at the same spot consistently, if you shot a laser at one spot on a moving target that's going like this, you're going to hit it at some point. A broken clock is right twice. Like, it's just, if you're staying in one spot, you're staying in one lane, the 49ers were bound. No team, not one, not Patrick Mahomes, not even the Patriots. Yeah, I guess kind of the Patriots, but they have also had down years as well as themselves. Every single team, even dynasties, have bad years, have down years. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. It's inevitable for it to happen. But it's what I keep preaching. What do you do consistently? What does next year look like? What are you doing the year after that? What are you doing consistently that defines you as a team, that defines you as a culture? So it's not fair to say just one bad year is suddenly, oh, I'm right about everything. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, good. Food morning to Karen. We are going to win today. We're going to win. That's what I like, Greg. Go, Greg. Let's go, Greg. No, he says, are we going to win today? Yes, we are, man. Yes, we fucking are, bro. We're going to win today, dude. You guys don't understand. The Bears are having their own personal struggles right now. You do realize they have an interim head coach right now. There's a perfect opportunity for the 49ers to take advantage of the Bears. I'm just saying. Greetings, I hope for sure. I've been taking to the over top, agreeing with the trolls. It makes me more mad. No doubt. Only game we can somewhat afford to lose is the Lions game. We have to have the Sea Chickens, Cards, Rams, lose a few though. I agree. The Lions game, I made the roadmap after the bye week, how we would win. The only one I did not account for was the Seahawks game. I figured we'd lose to the Packers. We may have lose the Bills, and we may have lose the Lions. Those 3 games are the 3 games I already put on the roadmap for us to lose because obviously that happened with the past 2 games. Lions are just too good right now, but the Bears are in turmoil themselves. The Dolphins are Dolphins. 49ers known to beat them. They're not playing very good. You know, I don't think Tua is the same. The Rams are slowly kind of dying off, and the Cardinals are the same thing. So those 4 games are winnable. They truly are. He's jumped the 49ers, Brian. I don't get the I don't get it either, man. It's just you're just feeding off the hate. It just happens. Like people need that vindication, you know? Like when you're upset about something or if you're upset with somebody, it helps when like your best friend or if your partner or whatever agrees with you, you feel good. You feel vindicated. You feel justified in your anger. So that way you no longer have to like hide it or whatever. You feel that vindication. That's what happens when you're angry. And that's where it comes from. And it's just, I get emotional too. You guys see me in lives, man. I get upset when something happens. I get pissed off. But I come back the next day or the day after and be like, okay, I've calmed down. What's logically happening with this team? What is the logical situation? It's okay to be emotional and be upset and say things that are not true, but just to react in the moment. It's okay to do that. It's okay for me to say that fucking Kyle Shanahan sucks in the game. It's fucking Brock Purdy, dude. What the fuck are you doing? It's okay for me to be like super upset in the moment because emotions are allowed. But I'm going to come back 2 days from now and be like, okay, I sat on it. I thought about it. Realistically, this is what it is. That's what you got to do. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay. Sam Fan Gator. Samuel's in here. Is Sam in here? Oh, he is in there. Sam in the house. Sam in the house. It's like I call it the way they all come into this defense spell. I try not to react to it, but it's just like I made a video about it and like I have that happen. They come into that one video specifically and they'll say this didn't age well. And I'm like, everything I said was true. Like, I don't understand how it didn't age well, but it's just how it is. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. Trevor got paid because of his draft place. He's doing it. Yeah, I know he got paid because of his draft place. Draftism is a real thing, people. It's a real thing. It is a real thing. I'm glad we came up with a word for it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm glad we came up with a word for it. Do you think Purdy would take a discount? I'm hoping he will. He'll be like a nice, wholesome Christian man. I love it, too. That's what I'm saying, too. Like, hey, man, because I'm not saying I don't think Brock will, like, because he doesn't have to, right? But if he did, I'm not saying I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I'll be like, yeah, surprise reaction. But deep down, I wouldn't be surprised just because for how much he talks about his players and how much he talks about how important they are, where he's like, I can't do it without this because every great quarterback or whatever needs weapons, needs to have this guy here and there. They can't just do it by themselves. He preaches it all the time. Nobody can do it by themselves. So maybe with that mentality, there's going to be a little bit of a discount, maybe even a little bit of a discount, maybe that'd be great. The problem is that let's say Brock Purdy takes a discount. That is going to, this is what I hate. It's going to reinforce the haters, right? The haters are going to say, oh, well, he deserves to take that discount. He took that discount for a reason because he knows he's not good enough. He knows he doesn't deserve it. They're going to roll with that. They're going to say he doesn't deserve that contract, and that's why he took it. And even he knows it. So I want you guys to prepare yourself that no matter what happens with Brock Purdy's contract, they're going to spin it on some negative aspect. If Brock Purdy doesn't get the contract and he moves on, someone is just going to pounce on that even more too. It's going to happen. So once he signs his contract, if it's the most paid quarterback in the league, people are going to say he doesn't deserve it, blah, 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 blah. If he takes a discount, people are just going to say, oh, well, even he knows he doesn't deserve that money, no matter what. It's going to happen. Tom Brady's living vicariously through Brock Purdy. I hope so, dude. I hope so. Trevor got paid because of Trent Baalke. Baalke did raise a quarterback bar and sticks to the 49ers. Yeah, Trent Baalke, man. Trent Baalke is I can't believe he picked Trayvon Walker over Aiden Hutchinson, dude. Just doing something different for the sake of different is wild to me. I think Mahomes will win MVP next year incoming. It's possible. I mean, he's capable. He is capable. Like I always say, man, it's what makes you a GOAT quarterback is that, yeah, you can have a down year, and some people can argue that you're not a top 5 quarterback, but it's what you do in the fourth quarter. It's what you do when everything is going wrong and suddenly – so, for example, Joe Montana threw 3 interceptions in the game against Dallas Cowboys, and guess what? He threw to Dwight Clark, won that game, and now it's known as the catch, right? And it's in Joe Montana's legacy. things can go bad for a quarterback. A quarterback can play bad, but it's like, what do you do to get the W? What do you do in the end that makes you that quarterback, right? So it's possible that that Patrick Mahomes can win MVP next year. I don't think he will, but he doesn't need to. Patrick Mahomes does not need to win an MVP to solidify himself as a GOAT. To me, I already think that he's a top 2 quarterback all time. Some people want to disagree with me, and some people don't like that. I put Joe Montana behind him. But I don't know if it's because it's in my era, that I'm seeing this, but I just from what I've seen from Mahomes is personally insane. Who cares about hey, slow down, Brian, slow down. One, I think we have to do with it. One, I think it also has to do with his team, specifically his agent. His agent might want to go for a bigger contract. That's true. The agent you also got to keep in mind the agent is doing all the work. Right, he's the one that's going to fight for Brock Purdy to give him the most money. Brock Purdy will literally have to go up to his guy and be like, "I want to take less." That's the only way it would happen. I have respect to you guys in the chat. You do. Now that was funny from Brian. I'm waiting for the woke NFL to give them Mahomes family your word. Talia just let you know the okay. I'm gonna try to get through all this. Okay, Papa J. You lose this game, you will go 5-12. I wouldn't say that. I just don't think we'll make the playoffs. I think it's over in that sense. I don't think if we lose this game, we're going 5-12. I wouldn't say that. But the season's over for sure. Their interim coach was also their interim OC. He started off the year as passing coordinator. Oh, you're talking about the Bears. Their interim head coach was also their interim OC. He started off the year as a passing game. That's actually funny. That's actually funny. Also, the Seahawks need to get blown out by the Green Bay Packers, and Rams need to be blown out by the Bills. We need those point differentials. Without a doubt, if some people ask, like, should we go for the Seahawks or should we go for the Cardinals? We should go for the Cardinals, people. We want the Cardinals to win. Why? Because you need that division. You need the Seahawks to split. Because the only possible way for the 49ers to win the division is not only win these games, and for the Seahawks and all them to lose the games I expect them to, they need to split the division. They need to go 3-3, right? So if the Cardinals win, boom. I think they're 2-3 in the division, and then the Seahawks play the Rams one more time, and then the Seahawks need to beat the Rams because the Rams already beat the Seahawks. So today I got the Cardinals. I'm going for the Cardinals. I got the Cardinals. Hey, Bob, my friend. I hope I'm wrong. Me too. Bills blowing out the Rams. 110%, dude. That's happening. What is your favorite 49ers content creator? It was Larry Krueger, and now I don't think I have one. I don't really have one now. Honestly, my favorite content creator is you guys. You guys, honestly, man, are awesome. You guys are the best 49ers family I could ask for on this channel. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not lying. Like I'm actually shocked how awesome you guys are. Like normally, like you kind of prepare yourself when you go online and you make a channel. You're kind of like, oh my God, you're gonna get a lot of hate. You're gonna get a lot of haters. You're a lot of people in there that disagree with you. It's gonna be a problem. You're gonna have to kick people out all the time. You guys have been all stars, right? So I haven't really had a 49ers content creator in a while, but if at the time it was Larry Krueger, but as of late, I'm kind of done with Larry Krueger, respectively. If you guys still like him, you still support him, all for it. You guys do that, right? You guys do that. I'm not trying to convince you, but I'm just saying for me, myself, I really don't have one anymore. I still watch them because I like hearing, because even if I don't agree with something, right, I still need both sides of the argument. I need to know what the haters are saying, and I need to know what the people are saying that are good. So I'll still watch Larry Krueger. Every now and again, I still watch Grant Cohn. I still watch Ryan Hensley every now and again. I watch because I need to know what the negative is of what they're saying and if I agree with it or not. So I pay attention. I'm the kind of guy that pays attention to everything. Things I don't agree with and things I do agree with. So that way I can collectively come up with an opinion of myself, right? Of how I want, like that's the best way to do it. Find something you disagree with, watch it fully. Don't just take one part, watch the entire thing. Watch the entire thing of something you agree with and come up with your own opinion at that point. That's what I do. F the Bills, no doubt. No doubt. We need all NFC West teams to lose, no doubt. We can make it happen. It happens. It can happen. It's tight. If the Seahawks were 9 wins right now, I would say probably the season's over. If the Cardinals were 9 wins or the Rams were 9 wins, I'd probably argue the season was over already by now. Because I do expect the Seahawks to win some games from here, but there are some losable games for the Rams, Cardinals, and Seahawks down this stretch, realistically. That's the only reason why I still believe in this team. It's not because I'm hopeful that they lose these teams, but there's actually games where the Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals could choke this lead and the 49ers could take it. Because it's only 2 games. We're only 2 games off, right? And if we win today, Cardinals win. They're at 7 wins. Seahawks are still at 7 wins, but they're 7-6. And if the Rams lose today, what are they, 6-7? So we're back in it again, right? It's not over. It's not over. It's not over. If I were the Chiefs fan, thank God I'm not, I would worry about the Bills. The Bills and the Chiefs, man, that should be a great game. That should be a great game. You're my favorite content. Oh, man, thank you. I'm just trying to be myself, man. I try. I'm not perfect. I promise. But thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Like, Wolf is legit because he speaks facts. Yes, Jesse already posted about it, so you can say I told you. Brad, David, Matt, and Jennifer do a good job. They're not full of hate like the others do. Brad, you know what? I take that back, Karen. You're actually right. Brad is actually probably my favorite content creator. I like him because not only do I agree with his takes, but he says things that like speak to my soul in agreement almost. He has, and not to mention, sometimes he doesn't give opinion on things. I like that he just spits the news, right? And then he kind of gives his opinion. They're never anything like outrageous. Brad never actually like proclaims things when it hasn't been proven yet, right? Like I don't expect Brad to be like, Brock Purdy is a Hall of Famer or not a Hall of Famer yet. He won't say that. And that's what I like about Brad. Brad's a good guy. He spits the news. He deserves every follower that he's got. I would say Brad is probably my favorite content creator. Now that you brought it up, thanks, Karen. I appreciate that. And I don't think I said this, but Karen in the house. I don't think I said that. 50 calories in the house. Brock Purdy had come back against the Lions and Packers in the playoffs last. Exactly. That's what I said earlier. That's what I said. Full respect for the first day I watched. I'm great for thank you guys, man. You guys make me blush, man. I'm all red and shit. Look at that. Literally, I'm turning red. I'm gonna beat you in Madden. Purdy would have been an MVP last year, but one game did him in. The Ravens game last year, damn. I know he's MVP candidate. If it wasn't for that game, dude, if it wasn't for that game, I think he would have won it. The thing is, I don't want to take from Lamar Jackson, but I think the consensus that everyone agreed with was that Lamar Jackson won the MVP by default because there was no real clear-cut MVP, maybe just CMC. But outside of that, we all know the MVP is a quarterback award, right? So it's going to go to a quarterback. And I don't think Lamar was an MVP last year, but he got it by default. He did beat Brock Purdy. He didn't throw 4 interceptions in that game, etc. So that's why he leaped him in that situation. But I do agree, if Brock didn't have that game against the Ravens, I think he would have won MVP. Karen is awesome, dude. Karen's awesome. If we lose this game, let's go in tank mode. I don't want to tank. I don't think it would if we lose this game, I do think the season's over, but I've never been if you guys think that, I totally understand where you're coming from. But I still think the players need to fight hard because there's some rookies out there that still need to prove themselves. And if the team gives up, they're pointless reps, right? They're useless reps because who they are wouldn't correlate really well with players who are vets not trying hard, right? They won't get better that way. So I think that if you tank a season, you're sacrificing reps for younger players that need those reps. And also you get game checks if you win. So for players who are not getting paid a lot of money, if you win, you get significantly more money. So I still think that for the sake of the players, for the sake of people in the locker room, for the sake of the culture, you still need to keep trying. But I do understand where you guys are coming from as a fan, being like, hey, we should tank because we need to get a better draft pick. But I'm not on board with it because the pick will still be like what? It won't be a top 10 pick. I don't think the pick will be a top 10 if we end up taking in the end. So I'm not for it. I'm not for it. Seriously, that was the game that took from no doubt, without Strawberry, without doubt. Yep. Pig and a pickle. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do like that though. I do like that, but I do think he needs to add more. He needs to add more emphasis, like pig and a pig. We're brought to you by pig and a pig, like something like that. He needs to like have a. There needs to be like a cadence to it, you know. Hey, pig and a pickle. If you want me to sponsor you, I'm all for it. You got my email. My email's in the 49ers chat. I'll fucking say pig and a pickle. If you fucking pay me, I'll do it. I'll do it. We all do, Brian. I watched stats for the negative. Mainly is Friday's show for the Mimosa Michelle. Yeah, Grant. Yeah, no, without doubt, Tyler. Hey, Tyler knows. Hey, I can only stand so much. Yeah. Should the 49ers go to the playoffs with how hurt they are? I do, because it would say a lot about the culture. It would say a lot about this team that no matter what, this team does not give up. And that's what I like about if we make the playoffs. Do I think realistically we'll go to Super Bowl and NFC Championship game if we make the playoffs? No. But there's other things outside of the fandom that the team should still play for. I just think that if you develop a culture where you give up, it's not gonna mesh well for the future. Right? You're gonna seep doubts in players' heads, and I don't like that. So I do think the 49ers should go playoffs, because could you imagine if the 49ers go to the playoffs with this team? Like, that would say a lot about the culture. That would say a lot about the team. Like, it's all about, and I know some people would say, who cares about what people think, but realistically, if this team made the playoffs, every single hater would have nothing to say in my eyes, because this team, this year has been so bad, has been so outside of the 49ers' control, that making the playoffs would speak volumes about the team itself. Making the playoffs says a lot about that narrative. And I feel like if they were to make the playoffs, anybody were to talk shit about this team, I would say, dude, we made the playoffs through all of this, and we still made the playoffs. Show me another team that's been through this and has made the playoffs. You wouldn't be able to. So I know some people say, who cares what people think, but there is still a bonus there for the fandom. Hey, 49ers might play video games. Grant wanted us to trade Fred Warner 2 years ago. I lost Fred after that. He said that? He said that? Okay, I need to chill. Okay. I'm a content creator. I can't freak out. But trading Fred Warner 2 years ago? All right. Breathe. Breathe. Oh my God. Lombardi. Brian, I'm not saying I hate Lombardi, and I don't, or anything like that. Like, I love, like, obviously speaking positive about things. It's not going to make me hate you, right? But he is very, very positive. Very positive. Bro, watch other Bats content. If Purdy rips up and it was like 5 TDs, 2,000 yards, and be like, you see, yep, no doubt. It doesn't matter. My son is a gamer. Have your son play him, man. We'll duke it out. Battle of the Chiefs and 49er fan there, man. Duke it out. Brad is dope. Brad is an awesome guy. Hopefully one day when this channel grows, we can do a co-stream together. That'd be cool. Not gonna lie. That'd be kind of cool. I'd be nervous as shit, though. I'm not gonna lie. You guys will probably see a different me if there's certain content creators where, like, I've dreamt, like, okay, not like I've daydreamed, like, maybe I co-host with Brad. That'd be cool. But then I'll be like nervous as shit. And then I'd be holding back my takes a little bit. I'd reel it in a little bit. I'm being real with you guys. I'm being real. Kind of funny. I slept here. I kept hearing Conan asking audible questions like 10 times. Caleb got the Bears head coach fired, calling him audible last week. I know that was the Bear. I thought the head coach was the problem, but if you actually go back and watch that game, that's a great point, Steve-O. The Caleb Williams did his own fucking thing at the end of that game and got that head coach fired. If you go back and watch it, the head coach is like, "What are you doing? Snap it." Caleb is out there going, "Yeah, do this, go over here, do that." It's like, what are you doing? You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Steve. That's on tips. Offensive player is actually MVP for non-quarterback players. That is, you know what? I like that one. That's actually spitting hot fire. That's true. Because you would think that offensive player of the year, and if they win MVP, shouldn't they win both awards? I always thought that. Like, that's kind of weird that you're giving this guy MVP. And if he's the most valuable player, isn't he offensive player of the year? I kind of thought those were coordinated. So you're spitting hot fire, man, when you say that. I wasn't even impressed with Lamar on that game. He wasn't. It was like tied or whatever. Like, he wasn't very good in that game, right? It was just that Brock played. I'll be honest, Brock did play worse than Lamar in that game, though. He did play worse. I wasn't even impressed with Lamar in that game. McDonald got his job with Seattle because of how Ravens shut down the 49ers. That was huge. Yep. You got a point. You got a point, Filthy. McDonald's a good coach. We'll see. He kind of had at first I was a little bit on the McDonald train. I was okay. I'm a little caught off guard. He's using Geno really good because there's only been one head coach in the history of Geno's career that has been able to use Geno effectively, and that's been Pete Carroll, right? I kind of thought coming into the season, I'm not gonna lie, I was wrong about that. I didn't think he would be able to utilize Geno Smith as way Pete Carroll did. And credit to him, man. Credit to McDonald, dude, doing what he had to do to win that, to make the team actually look good. But towards like the middle of the season, there's been cracks, right? And I was like, okay, maybe he's not as good as I thought he was. But now they're hot, right? They're hot. They're feeling themselves. But they almost lost to the Jets. They were this close. If Aaron Rodgers, man, was just that much better, they would have lost to the Jets. And that would have been huge for the 49ers. They just literally, I don't know what Aaron Rodgers was looking at, but you could see Leonard Floyd running to that slant, right? And I don't even think the wide receiver was that open. If you actually go back and watch that play where Aaron Rodgers threw the pick six to Leonard Williams, if you look to your left, a wide receiver gets wide open in the touchdown. He breaks off a guy, and then there's a wide open touchdown. Aaron Rodgers completely missed him. Aaron Rodgers was going to throw to that wide receiver no matter what. That's all that tells me. If Aaron Rodgers was just that much better, dude, we'd be talking a different kind of division right now. More technical myself. If we win a playoff game despite all of this, it shut down. It should. It honestly should. Making the playoffs is beyond expectations by now. One, it won't. We can win games. There will still be fans saying fire Kyle, replace Brock. There will always be fans that are just. It always will happen. What we did wasn't Grant Trey. He was, dude. This is where I jumped off, and I'm going to try to keep this nice as possible because again, I don't want this stream to be talking about that because I'd rather us just talk about football and 49ers just together. So I'm going to skip all the rest from here on out. I'm going to skip the rest of the Grant thing. No disrespect to you guys, but just so that we can talk more about 49ers stuff. So I'll just say this. I jumped off the train when he said when Brock Purdy went 12 for 12 in practice. He went 12 for 12 in practice. He still talks shit about Brock Purdy, saying Trey Lance would have done that if he had first-team reps. What? He had second-team reps and went like 4-7 or something like that. It was terrible. And at that point, I realized I was like, okay, you're not necessarily reporting what you see, right? You're reporting what you see and what you can then what you can get away with, right? And what you could try to a narrative you could push. And that's when I lost all. I used to be a big fan of his. I used to be, but then I just kind of was like, that doesn't make any sense. That just doesn't make sense for you to say that. Like, it's okay to be wrong. I'm wrong. Heck, guys, I'll tell you my worst take. And it's aged poorly. You can give me shit for it forever. But I'll always tell you that I said this. There was a time that I thought we should trade George Kittle. There was a time that I thought George Kittle was done. And that was a poor take that did not age well. He's great. He's fantastic. Hall of Fame tight end in my eyes. I thought about trading him in 2021. I think I was like, he's too injury prone. I think that was my reason. He was too injury prone, wasn't being used enough. We can get some draft picks, draft better players, maybe even a tight end that's injured. I had a whole thing. But that was my worst take ever. So Like, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. And I will tell you guys if I'm wrong. I'll tell, it happens. And I feel like in that moment, for him, he should have been like, okay, I'm wrong. Brock Purdy is great. He's looking great. He's looking way better than Trey Lance. That's what he should have done. That's what he should have done. And he didn't do it. He actually doubled down and then went through the entire year talking shit about Brock Purdy. And it didn't make sense at the time because Brock Purdy was on fire. He was playing great. And that's where I lost it. Like, you know, that's how I saw it. So we're gonna move on from that. But that's where I stand on that situation and where I come from, and that's my story of how I woke up, quote unquote. All right, so let's move on from that. Yeah, without a doubt, I wanted to do that in 2021 or 2022, something like that. It was like right after the Super Bowl, and it just wasn't. Yeah, I'm very positive. Life's too short, man. Yeah, life is very short. You got to find the little things in life, man. Sometimes something stupid, small, minuscule, catches you by surprise. Take it in. Get a little happy. Smile about it. If someone gives you a straw and you break open that straw and it turns out to be a bendy straw instead of one of those plastic straw, one of those little paper straws, get a little happy about it. Get a little excited. Be like, hey, I got a bendy straw, not one of those fucking straws that don't work. Enjoy the little things. Enjoy the little things, man. Strawberry forgot guy that's pretty level-headed. I want to try. I know they're pushing that hard. It's just gonna buy everyone's shoes. I know, dude. That pissed me off. We'll move on. Leonard Floyd's been really quiet, but somehow has 6.5 sacks. He probably is going to be about 9 and 10 sacks a dip. Like he has 6.5 sacks. What? That is the most quiet 6.5 sacks I have ever fucking heard of, dude. No way, dude. No way. What? And he has a forced fumble, dude. What? Oh my God. They do. Isn't Floyd on a 2-year deal? Him and Gross Matos? Yeah. Gross Matos, I don't think we should get rid of because he's actually playing better than Leonard Floyd. I think he's playing as like a depth piece. And I don't think Gross Matos is getting a lot of money right now. I don't think Gross Matos has a lot of cash. We can actually check over the cap right now and see what is going on there. We have to watch Kyle Shanahan's presser before we get out of here. So I actually have to get to that. But let's look at let me see if I can find I know Leonard Floyd, we can get rid of Leonard Floyd, save like $8 million. It's like a $1.5 million cap hit if we get rid of him next year. So we can get out from Leonard Floyd, so that's good. But Gross Matos, I don't think so. In 2025, Gross Matos, where you at, Gross Matos? Where are you, buddy? I know you're in here somewhere, man. Malik Collins, there he is. Okay. So next year, if we cut him before June 1st, right, it will be a $6 million dead cap hit. But if we cut him after, it's $8 million, $1.6 million if we cut Yetur Gross-Matos. Next year, if we cut Leonard Floyd after June 1st, $7.9 million in cap savings, but a $2.1 million dead money hit. So after June 1st, I do expect Leonard Floyd to be gone. Hargrave is the same thing, guys. By the way, guys, Hargrave, how much money does he make? Bosa, Samuel. There's Bosa is after June 1st, not Bosa, but after June 1st, it is a $7.3 million dead cap, but you do save $20 million next year by cutting Hargrave after June 1st. So after June 1st, I do expect some moves to be made, right? So $20 million is a lot of money. That is like multiple players that we could sign with that, right? That is our entire draft plus. So I don't expect, especially with Hargrave's injury, especially with Hargrave not living up to the hype last year, it would just be wise to get rid of him after June 1st. So Isn't floating onto your deal. Yeah, Kittle will retire 49ers first ballot Hall of Famer. That's definitely possible. Definitely possible. Kittle's been the only consistent and great player this season. He has been, dude. Could you imagine if we traded him? That would have been stupid. That would have been so stupid. Keep my Kittle's name out your fucking mouth. 10%, dude. It was still poor take. I had a poor take. I really think he's one player who may actually retire as a 49er. God love Kittle. Dude, Kittle is such a he has reasons to complain almost. Like if he complained, if he complained tomorrow, I wouldn't be mad at him. I wouldn't be upset. The man deserves more targets. The man deserves to be in the game plan significantly more. And that is Kyle Shanahan's fault. That is one thing that bothers me. It bothers you guys too, I'm sure, is that he doesn't get the ball enough. And when he does get the ball, things happen all the time. I don't know why we get away from that, especially this year, where when we do go to him, things have happened. Triple coverage, touchdowns. In the red zone, he's been our only option. Just Kittle has been the guy. And if there's ever been an excuse to go away from not using Kittle in the run game and just using him in the passing game and giving the ball more, it's been this year. So I have been a little disappointed with Kyle's game plan for Kittle his entire career. It's almost as if once Kittle became this elite player, that one year where he almost broke the season game record for yards. He almost did it in a half, by the way. And then Kelsey broke it moments later or something like that, a year later, I think. Most yards in the season for a tight end. It's right after that, everything was oh, well, I don't need to draft offensive linemen because George Kittle is the greatest blocking tight end of all time. So I'm not going to pay attention on drafting offensive linemen and just use him for blocking and then use Kittle as a third or fourth read. That's the only thing I can think of. That's the only thing I can think of for George Kittle. Kittle have his jersey number. Kittle's the heart and soul of the 49ers. He definitely is the leader. He brings that fire. He's that reason that we have such a positive locker room, I think, because I think we lost the Bills. He was still happy pappy. He still showed up for his squad. He still showed love. He still did his thing. Lately, Jesse's on a tear right now. Every now and again, Jesse comes in my lives. Every now and again. I'm not gonna lie to you. Jesse comes in my lives every now and again. It's been a while. I think he's been in my lives twice or 3 times. Cut Campbell. Oh, dude. Yeah, dude. Campbell's got to go. With those stats, do we really want to get rid of Leonard Floyd? Yes, because it's been quiet sacks. I don't know if it's because those are garbage time sacks or if they've been clutch sacks. If those are sacks that I don't recognize, it's probably because it's garbage time or they weren't clutch sacks. It's and I know sacks are always positive, but when did you get those? Because I do recall Leonard Floyd getting sacks once or twice, being yeah, Leonard Floyd, you got it, yeah. But literally, I think I did that twice. So, Hargrave needs to go too. They can only do 2 post-June cuts early, though, I believe. Then that's got to be Hargrave and Leonard Floyd. It's got to be those 2 for sure. But I think I heard something like that. No Ronnie Bell or Jake Moody. Jake Moody's got to go, man. I used to be a believer of Jake Moody, give him a shot and stuff, but he's not the guy, man. He's not the kicker. He's just not the kicker. Hot that like button. Yeah, hit that like button. And that hot button's hot. And the like button is hot. So hot. I'll never do that again, guys. I'm sorry. I'll never do that again, I promise. What always sucks is George is blocking. I know, dude. It's crazy. I don't understand why Brock backed Bell. He's a leader. He's got to. He can't be out there shit talking his players no matter what. Because other players, when they have down years or if they have down games, if they can rely on their quarterback to get their back, they can do that. So Ronnie Bell is, I don't want to say victim, but he's just part of what Brock Purdy has to say in that situation. I don't think he's saying it for the sake of Ronnie Bell. I think he's saying it for the sake of the culture. I think he's saying it for the sake of being a leader, because you don't just go outright and just throw everyone on the bus. You don't pull in Aaron Rodgers. Okay. You got to take responsibility. And that's what Brock Purdy consistently does. He constantly takes responsibility. And some people don't like hearing that, but I'd much rather hear that than him be a douchebag to the rest of his team when it's hey, man, it may not have been your fault that we lost. but you're still the quarterback. You're still the quarterback. You're still the leader. He's just on practice squad. I doubt they get rid of Moody, but we will see. Yeah, I don't think they will, but they should. I don't think they will either. I think the investment of the 3rd round draft pick is too big for them. And the only reason why I can figure this is just there isn't one else right now. Yep, that's true. I hope you get rid of Moody. He's been enough chance. Yeah, I know he's got enough chances. Moody has had enough. Right? I understand 1 or 2 games can't be perfect. I'm not going to expect the kicker to be a top 5 kicker every single fucking year, right? But this guy has been unbelievably bad. There's a game I think there's been 2 games I think. I want to say just because of him, but if he made those kicks, would have been different. Game probably would have been W, and our season would be in a different situation. Jake Moody has been the reason why we lost some games. I'm not gonna lie to you. When we cut Bell, we get blown out. We need him. I like that. That's funny one. When we cut Bell, we get blown out. That's a funny comment, brother. That's a funny comment. Yeah, probably because he knows the playbook also. But if he ain't going to catch the ball, it's not that much better than having somebody out there that doesn't know the playbook, in my opinion. Spitting off fire. Got a point there. All right, last comment. Sorensen takes responsibility all the time. He just doesn't know. He just doesn't do anything about the problems. We'll watch the press conference, but I've seen some clips, of this press conference that makes me really want to watch it with you guys, because there's been some answers from Kyle that I'm like, what in the world? Like, what do you mean? Like, one of them, we're going to see. I don't want any spoilers, but I'll react just the same. I'll react just the same as I heard it. I promise. Because when I heard this, my jaw dropped. I was like, what the fuck do you mean by that? That is a lie. I can already hear the Harris say Sorensen will be the scapegoat 2.0 to attack Kyle. Yeah, and you could just suck, right? You could just be a shit defensive coordinator. Kyle could just fuck up and hire the wrong defensive coordinator, but the defensive coordinator could still be taking responsibility for it. Some people are saying, we should have kept Wilkes, when those same people are saying, hey, why'd you hire Wilkes? It's weird to me. Wilkes was not the answer. Yeah, is Wilkes better than Sorensen from what we see right now? Yes, but you couldn't have predicted that. Sorensen is a new defensive coordinator with things that he needs to learn. There are bumps that he needs to learn from. He is a rookie, right? Wilkes is a vet. You're trying to compare a vet to a rookie, and that's not fair. Let's be realistic. Wilkes wasn't the answer. And as of right now, Sorensen is not the answer. If you ask me on a personal level who I think is to blame for the defense, I think it's Brandon Staley. I blame Brandon Staley. I can't prove it. I cannot do that. That is just my personal opinion. Because they brought him in for a reason. And Brandon Staley is a former defensive coordinator, right? They didn't just bring him in to help with offense stuff. They didn't just bring him in to help with special team stuff. They brought him in to help with defense, realistically. So I blame Brandon Staley. I truly do. I 110% believe it. No proof. I believe it's Brandon Staley. Yeah, they've been nice now. Need to go. If they get fired, then they will claim that they are scapegoats. 110%. Even though Schneider is the worst special teams coach on the face of the fucking planet. Okay, I swear to God, we could be better than him. I'm not even lying. I'm not even exaggerating. He is so bad at his job that I've been preaching this all year. Just hire the fucking janitor. Okay? Hire the cleaning lady. I don't give a shit. If you are the worst at something, if you are the 32nd coach at something, you need to be fired, and someone else, no matter who fucking it is, needs to take that spot. That's just how I feel about it. Wilk having better players to work with, but I'd still take him over Sorensen. I would. In retrospect, I would take Wilkes over Sorensen. But like to compare them and be like, oh, this was a mistake, I don't think that part. I don't think that part. Just because you're comparing a vet to a rookie, right? Wilkes did things that he should know better. He did things that you should know better as a vet. You've seen this 1,000 times, and you still make that mistake? Nah, bro. Nah, dude. What do you guys think of Greasy possibly going to Michigan to the college level? I hope he stays with Brock and Greasy have a good relationship. I don't think Greasy's that good of a quarterback coach. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think he's that good. But I mean, if you have a good relationship with your quarterback coach, that is a big deal to the quarterback, right? Because he's going to listen to him. There's not going to be any not I don't want to say turmoil. That's not exactly the best word for it, but like they're not going to conflict with each other. There's not going to be a problem and stuff. And if you're arguing with your coach, any coach at all, it never really goes well with the team. So these problems existed on the defense last year, not quite as extreme, but the offense was so good that the opposing team abandoned the run to try and keep up the 49ers offense. That's true. The 49ers offense was insane last year. 30 plus. I think they averaged 30 something points a game last year, which is crazy. Too many Chiefs, special teams coach filling out apps. He needs to, man. He needs to. Other than a greasy offensive coordinator, I guess I'm in the minority here where I don't exactly believe in Greasy. That's just me. Greasy would be an offensive coordinator, take off the Kyle's plate. I do think that Kyle, and it's not going to happen, but Kyle does need to have an Andy Reid moment, and hopefully it's not the cost of firing him, but he needs to step back and look at everything again. Because he does say, oh, we look at everything. But do you? You look at everything that you do. You don't look at everything else, right? You just look at what you do is how I look at it. It's how I interpret it. Because I don't think he looks at everything. I think he looks at everything that he does, if that makes sense. Like, he will look within himself like, okay, what can I do with my scheme and how can I fix it? There is no, this person over here on this team is doing this, so maybe I should mimic that. It's almost as if there's shame in his eyes if he were to mimic something of someone else. It's like he takes pride in the fact that he did that. There was a time where a lot of teams started to mimic what Kyle Shanahan did, right? But that's what happens with a league. A league transforms. Like, there's never going to be a perfect, playbook game plan from a head coach that's going to last for decades on decades on decades, right? People figure it out. And sometimes an old scheme from 10 years ago is the way to go. At some point, running the ball is going to be way more valuable than passing the ball. That's just how the game evolves. It's just like, what are you doing differently? And what are you doing uniquely because at some point, someone's going to create a defense that goes against that passing defense. So it's just, you have to evolve. I'll be right back. I got my dog in. All right. I'm here. All right. Oh, my badass. All right. I know you guys just made comments, but we're going to have to jump into this Kyle Shanahan presser. So that way we can get out of here. It's been an hour and 18 minutes. Great conversation, guys. You guys are awesome. Let's go ahead and jump into Kyle Shanahan's presser that you had. Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan, explain how 49ers can respond to recent adversity versus the Bears. The Bears. Oh, and also, guys, if you guys are a fan of the all teams series that I'm doing with the game or whatever, I'm trying to get all the same players in the filter thing I'm doing, the shorts. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. Be sure to vote. I'm gonna take it down tonight, and I'm gonna do the first one tonight. So far, I think the Eagles are in the lead right now. So most likely, as of now, I might be jumping into the Eagles. But with TikToks. Being canceled and going away, most likely I'll have to end the filter. So I'll have to think of a way to try to get all the teams by then, but most likely I won't. I'm just giving you guys a heads up because the filter is on TikTok. So once that's gone, there's no way I can use it anymore. So, and don't follow me on there, guys. Don't follow me on that TikTok. That TikTok is literally just used as the format to play the games because they don't have the games on YouTube. So I just use it for that reason and that reason alone. So don't bother following me on there. I delete videos on there all the time. Just, yeah. This YouTube is it. This is the content. This is where I focus on content and content alone. It's here. All right, let's jump into the Kyle Shanahan's presser. Let me bring it up right now. All right, here we go. Share. Boop. Let me drink some water. By the way, we're sponsored by water. It's good for you. It helps clean your skin, helps clean out your kidneys, helps clean out your body. Sure, you have to use the bathroom a little bit more, but I tell you what, you glow. You glow. So, all right, here we go. Kyle Shanahan's presser. This should be interesting. Let's watch this shit.
Out. Greenlaw's out. Trent Williams is out. Jordan Mason. George Odom will be out. Greenlaw's out. Trent Williams is out. Jordan Mason is out. Nick Bosa is doubtful. Flanagan Fowles questionable. Aaron Banks questionable. Huff is questionable. Go ahead.
Huff is playing. Go ahead. I felt that, Kyle. I felt that, man. I felt that. We're here for you, buddy. We feel you. We feel you, man. He was like, he's questionable. Go ahead. I love that, dude.
Being doubtful and not out, does that mean that he was able to do a little bit more this week?
Yes, he did a little bit more.
Does Banks still have steps to take protocol?
Yes.
How did Brock look in practice? I guess it's his first full week back in full participation, and what are you expecting out of him?
He's good. I mean, we had to wait a while to give him a rest to make sure it healed, and we could see that it did at the end of last week. And that's why there's no issues on last Sunday, and it's been great all week. So glad to get him back to full speed and get him full week of practice.
On Ben Barch's first start for you last week?
I thought he did a good job. You know, we're excited to get him to play with us. He hadn't yet. We've had him here for a little bit over a year, and for his first game, I thought he did a real good job.
I know he had that pretty severe knee dislocation in 22. Was last year a matter of just like building back strength still from that?
I mean, I think so a little bit. I mean, when we got him, I thought he was pretty good, and you know, we didn't have any injuries, and he didn't have a need to play him. But we felt fortunate to get him, and he got to learn our offense a little bit, and he's been real good here through the offseason.
What was Brandon Staley?
Usually when someone says he was good for his first game, probably wasn't very good. Like he could have been terrible, I guess, but usually when someone's like, he was pretty good for his first game, probably means he wasn't that good.
His role this season, how has that developed, and have you been happy with what he's added?
Yeah, I think Brandon's done a real good job. You know, he helps us out in all types of areas. Works with the nickels probably the most. Real good at helping Nick with the game plan and stuff like that.
Fucking knew it, dude. I knew it, dude. I fucking knew it. He is the reason we had two safeties on Justin Jefferson. Helping with the nickels, that's what we had on Justin Jefferson. Had two fucking safeties on that. Ooh, dude. I knew it. I knew it, dude. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I knew it, dude. Fucking Brandon Staley, dude. This guy's fingerprints all over this shit. Let me go back. Let me go back a little bit.
Been happy with what he's added?
Yeah, I think Brandon's done a real good job. You know, he helps us out in all types of areas. Works with the nickels probably the most. Real good at helping Nick with the game plan and stuff like that. Does our ball meeting.
No! Ads! What? What? I haven't seen an ad since 1992. Ugh. I haven't seen an ad since 1992. Ugh.
So.
Help develop elements of the defense, or has it still been mostly the stuff that you've been doing?
I mean, I think we have different wrinkles and stuff each year. I want to say that's just Nick. You know, that's stuff we do as a group. But Nick's been a part of that group.
Nick has been part of. Is he not the defensive coordinator? He's been part of it. So he's just sitting in meetings, watching Kyle Shanahan and Brandon Staley come up with a defensive game plan. Shouldn't he be the guy? Like, what do you mean he's part of it, dude? Oh, my Lord.
The nickel plan Sunday in Buffalo seemed like he had multiple nickels going throughout the day.
Yeah, we had some injury situations, so we knew Demo couldn't play. So we had a first and second down nickel, and then we had a third down nickel.
First and second down nickel, just a bigger player. Is McLeod sort of a bigger nickel for that?
No, just Renardo was a little banged up too, and he was had a sore neck from the week before, so we don't want to put too much inside on him.
Evo's numbers clearly haven't been there this season. Do you attribute that to just kind of a trickle down for the whole offense, or are there things that he could be doing better?
I think we all could be doing things better, but I think it's more trickle down from the whole offense. He hasn't had as many opportunities for the big play. He's had a couple that he just missed where you hit those, and it makes a big difference. Just.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my fucking God. He did not just say that Deebo Samuel has not had big opportunities. I swear to God, dude. He did not just say that Deebo has not had big opportunities. He is, oh, my God, dude. He did not just say that Deebo has not had big opportunities. He did not just fucking say that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Has he not been relatively healthy this entire year? Has he not been targeted a shit ton this year? Has he dropped multiple balls, not just a couple, like every fucking week? Is he not the reason that Kittle is not getting the ball more? Did I not see Deebo Samuel do jet sweeps? Did I not see Deebo Samuel do screens? I'm tripping. I'm in another I'm in a different timeline. You know what? I'm in a different timeline. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. Opportunities to drop the ball. That's funny. That's funny. Why is Kyle starting to look like Sorensen? We just Sorensify this team. De-Sorensify this team. That's fucking funny. He missed games and had pneumonia. Okay, the pneumonia game, I get that. Fine. But he didn't even play, right? But for the games where he's fully healthy and we need him to be that guy, he hasn't been that guy. Like, not even close. Like, the dude is washed, man. I just... Lord. I know he had pneumonia that one game, but for the most of this year, he has been the guy. If he was at all 2021 Deebo, or even just half that guy, we probably would have won games. Oh, God. But that's funny. Well, that's fun. I don't think he's had a ton of targets, to be honest, but yeah, the gadget plays of Deebo aren't working. Gadget plays, I think he's had, I disagree. I think he's had plenty of targets. He's just dropping these balls. I would have to disagree with that, but yeah, I mean, we've needed the guy, and he hasn't been that guy. I'm so tired of, like, I don't want to get too much into it, but that kills me, dude. That kills me. Like, I understand that people love Deebo. I loved Deebo. But realistically, man, he, like, last year, he wasn't the same. Like, you'll be like, okay, he wasn't the same. He's all right. Whatever. It is what it is. You know, it's not that bad. But this year, in a year where everyone has told me, I mean, every 49ers content creator, not one, that has physically seen Deebo Samuel practice that says that this is the best he's ever looked. That he's been at every practice. He's been a leader. He's been doing amazing. He looks super fit. He's lost a lot of weight. He's done all of this. And yet he somehow has a worse product that he's ever given us. All right, we should continue this. I'll see the last of these comments on. I don't think anybody would take Deebo. I don't think anybody would take Deebo in that contract. No, I don't think. I think someone else would to sign him, but I don't think they'll give him that contract. Deebo has been more running attempts than our running back in some games. Nobody wants him. I think some washed-up team would take him. That's true. That's true. I think JJ has been getting way more targets, which he deserves that complaining. Well, it's because he's getting open or like he can catch those 50-50 balls, etc. But I would have to disagree, Strawberry. I think I'm going to disagree with you on that one. I think he's had I honestly just think that JJ has always been that guy consistently every single year in and year out. But I think Deebo has been getting more targets than I will have to look it up. I don't know for a fact, but we should probably just look that up. But I need to get out of here, so we got to keep watching this press conference. But I really should look up the stats to see how many targets he has. I guess I could do that. Hold on. Let's see how many targets Deebo's had. StatMuse. He's had 61 targets. Deebo has had 61 targets. Juwan. How many targets? Well, he has 50 receptions. That's pretty good. He's projected to have 71. Trying to find the targets. That's not what we need. Why is this so hard to find? Sorry, guys. I had a little bit of a break here. Try to find. According to, I guess you're right. He's had more targets. He has 9 more targets than this one says 69. That one says 70. So I guess you're right. He's had more targets, but I mean, like, Juwan Jennings has been way more clutch and efficient. So you're right. He's had more targets. But Juwan has been way more capitalizing and turning his yards into actual things. But you are right about that. He's had more Deebo's, but it's like 61 targets to 70. Really? Yeah. No. And then you got. I also don't think that counts for the jet sweeps. The one where he played running back and screen. Well, I guess it would count screens, but I don't think it would count jet sweeps and stuff. So. But yeah, and they both have missed 2 games as well. Yeah. So it sounds to me that they're both kind of getting the same kind of target share, but one is significantly outperforming the other, you know? What is Kittle's target? Oh, let's play a fun game, guys. How many targets do you think Kittle's got? I'm going to say 40. I'm going to say roughly 40. What do you guys think? How many targets do you think George Kittle has? Oh my God. That can't be true. Okay, you're lying to me, dude. That's got to be a lie. It says he had 61 targets, just as much as Deebo. That can't be right. That can't be right. Well, I guess he did pop off. There was a few games where he popped off, I guess. But yeah, I guess he's had the exact same amount of targets as Deebo Samuel. StatMuse says George Kittle has been targeted 59 times. He has 59 targets. That's actually shocking. How's your chat? Wolf? Oh, it's fantastic. We're having a great fucking time. Yeah. Jet sweeps are considered carries. Strawberry 55, 36, 60. Juan, you got it on point. Yeah, I got it right. Basically, yeah, you got it on point there. That's crazy. From what I see, it kind of seems like I thought he was getting a lot less than that. How many did Bell get? Just kidding. I don't want to know. You shouldn't want to know, dude. We got 52, 60, and the answer is either 51 or 61. I got two answers there, so I don't know how that's not a direct answer. I don't know how we still know that, but all right, let's continue this press conference. But I disagree. If you're getting 61 targets, plus jet sweeps, and that one time where he played running back, I think in one game, how are you not getting big opportunities? How are you not getting enough opportunities to change the game? That doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense to me, dude. That's not true. That's just not true. Saying he hasn't had big opportunities is crazy. This entire year there's been one game, I believe, that he has an excuse to not play good, which he ended up not playing in, which is when he had pneumonia. Outside of that, he's had no excuse in my eyes. There's been zero excuses. This has been his big opportunity. With all these injuries, with all these things happening, this has been his big opportunity. And all he did against the Bills, or I guess it's the Green Bay Packers, he just dropped balls, man.
In terms of the perception of numbers, but I think it's more trickle down to the whole offense.
In big games like the playoffs, like get Debo the ball. You can see that in your head almost sometimes. Have you had the same feelings this season? It has been frustrating not to be able to see him make those big plays.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been frustrating with everything on offense, especially these last few weeks. Would like to get Debo going more, and hopefully we can find a way to do that here in these next 5 games.
No! Don't do that! Don't do that! Don't do that! Don't do that! I swear to God, dude, I'm getting so heated, dude. This press conference is a game changer for me, dude. Holy shit. Don't do that. Don't get Kittle more involved, bro. Get Kittle more involved. No more Debo, dude. We got to get him going. You've been trying to get him going for 13 fucking weeks, dude. No. Enough with the Debo experience. Enough.
It struggles in situational football on both sides of the ball. As a coach, what can you do to kind of emphasize that or get better at that?
Oh, I mean, most of it's schematic answers and stuff, which definitely don't want to talk about in here. But I mean, that's all you emphasize. I mean, numbers wise and stuff, you can have some decent numbers, but if your numbers aren't good in situational football, you're rarely going to lead to many points. And points are what it takes to win the game. So stuff we emphasize all the time, stuff we're trying to get better at, challenging guys at, and challenging ourselves schematically also.
You guys, I know you don't want to pay attention to what's being said, but you look at it mathematically, it's tough. You look at the conversation about where the 49ers are. Do you sense the mood, or do you want the mood locker room to be kind of like denial of that anger, or acceptance that this is a tough spot that you're in?
I mean, we understand where we're at. So, I mean, we go to work and we practice football. We don't discuss it all week. We don't read all week. And I get all that. I understand how the NFL works. I understand what our record's at. We knew coming into this year we were going to have to work to, I didn't feel there right after training camp. I thought we had a chance, though, to get better as the year went, especially at the beginning of our schedule, which I thought was a lot easier than the second half. I thought we would improve and kind of build that as we went. And I was hoping we could be 8-2 when we got to the tough stretch. And I've talked about those 3 games, which I feel we should have won, that we let get away from us. And that got us to 5-5. And then right when we got at the toughest part, where I was hoping we would have had some continuity and developed into the team that I thought could really make a run and push some things. That's when we subtracted a lot of guys from us, and we're kind of at our toughest spot. And that's where we are now, which when you don't take advantage of kind of what you had earlier in the year and you are in a tough spot, that's why it makes it extremely hard to get out of. So like I said earlier in the week, we got to do some special things to get out of this hole we put ourselves in. And we understand that, but we can talk about it every day. We have to come to a press conference or talk about it outside of here. But when it's with each other, it's how to play better football, how to find a way to get a win. And that usually only comes down to playing better football.
Listen, you want
skip ads forever. I wish, man. All right. Whatever. That's fucking hilarious. We need more Debo, like we need more cowbell. I've got a disease. I'm the only cure. More cowbell. That motherfucker just called me a doofus for letting the ads roll. I feel like every time we have a 15-plus yard run, it's a jet sweep to Debo that loses yards and loses the momentum. Yeah, that's true. I don't want – like, if you want to sprinkle in Debo every now and again, like, realistically, he's on your team. You're paying him. You give him some reps, but you got to be realistic here, man. Stop. Fucking stop putting Debo over Kittle, over Juwan Jennings. Like, just stop it. It's not a thing anymore, man. Like, you're living in the past. Just let it go. I just don't understand. Just don't understand. 49 Sports in the house. I want Ricky to get more involved. I do too, man. I do too. But like, I coming back to what I said, I just feel like Pearsall did not get a fair shot and does not deserve criticism right now. He does not deserve the criticism. It's like based on the terrible offseason he had, we don't know what Pearsall is going to be. So for someone to say Pearsall's a bust right now in this rookie year, it's just not fair. It's just not fair. The only way to use jet sweeps is with JJ or Ricky. Ricky seems to know what he's doing on jet sweeps. Apparently that jet sweep was an accident. It was supposed to go to Jacob Cowing. I can't remember where I heard that from, but apparently it was an accident. The jet sweep was supposed to go to Jacob Cowing. But Pearsall looks like he knows how to read the gaps, man. That was a really good jet sweep that he had. I agree. I think that Ricky needs to be more involved in these jet sweeps. If he can't get separation right now and needs time to develop or whatever, if you can use his ball carrier vision and he has runs like he did in that Dallas Cowboys game, I think you need to use him. I just think Debo needs to be used just less. If you feel like you have to use him a little bit, then fine. Fine. But do not, let's see if we can get him going. No. There's nothing going about Debo, okay? There's nothing going about him. Pearsall's been mostly doing decoy routes to pull the safeties from JJ and Criddle. Yeah, that's one of their schemes, and it's just not working because he can't do it. He just can't do it.
Lynch on the radio today, you can't get your ass kicked 2 weeks in a row and not respond. And he wants to see a response that's up to you guys' standards. Do you have any doubt about this team's ability to respond in that way?
Yeah, of course we want to respond. We've been on the road 2 weeks in a row where we've given up over 100 yards rushing in the first half, and we've had 6 turnovers in 2 games. And when that happens, you're going to get your ass kicked like we did. I want to go out there. I want to stop the run. I want to not turn the ball over. And if that does, we'll have a football game. And if we can get it into a football game, I like our chances of winning, and I like our team to do that.
Green Bay Packers game. I blame we could have been in that Green Bay Packers game if it wasn't for that, what he just said. We could have been in that game. I'm not saying we would have won it, but the game would have looked a lot differently if even with fucking Brandon Allen at quarterback. That was, to me, I'm not saying winnable as in, that was a winnable game, man. We should have got that. I'm saying, like, there was potential, but we let it slip because we get turning the ball over. We were terrible in the run defense, and we got smacked. But there was a window there to win that game. There was.
For somebody, go ahead.
Getting back to you saying that you thought that you might be 8-2. Is that something that you do every year?
No, it's not that. I thought we should have been 8-2. Yeah, we were 5-5, and I believe there was 3 games that we let get away that we should have won. That doesn't mean that we've been much of a different team.
Those 3 games are Seattle, Rams, and Cardinals. I agree. Division games. The worst kind of games to lose.
8-2, then 5-5. But it's how you improve as the year goes.
You do that every year, sort of map out how you think it might go?
No, I didn't. I didn't really do this year. I'm just saying I know where our team's at after training camp, and I know where I want to be. And I thought we could get there as it got to a harder part of our schedule. And we didn't take advantage of the easier part of our schedule, is what I'm saying, with those 3 games. And when we did get to it, we weren't in a place to give ourselves some cushion because I thought we were wounded when we got to the harder part. And that was a challenge we put ourselves in.
What was your level of concern at the end of training camp then, with all the injuries and everything that happened at that point?
I just knew we weren't where I wanted to be, which rarely you are exactly at the beginning of the year. That's why you play, and that's why you get better as it goes. And that's what I was planning to do. That's always the goal. we weren't able to consistently do that. It seemed like every time we took a step forward, we took 2 steps back, and that was kind of how it went. And once you lose some close games, once you think you should have won, that's the difference between being 5-5 at the halfway point and being 8-2 at the halfway point from a record standpoint, not just the overall where your team's at.
Such a struggle for.
I like that answer. That was a good answer. That was a good answer. I'll give props when props due. I have not liked this entire press conference so far, but that was a good response.
Once you think you should have won, that's
Sorry,
the difference
I had to
between
speak back
being
to live
5-5 at the halfway point and being 8-2 at the halfway point from a record standpoint, not just the overall where your team's at.
Such a struggle for a lot of people, but one person it seems has been impervious to it all is George Kittle. He's
Spit it out, motherfucker.
been so productive and upbeat. Like, how important is it to have a leader like him on your team?
I mean, that's just George's personality. He's always upbeat, but I do think he's had a hell of a year. He's been able to stay healthy too. I mean, he's missed 2 games, I believe, which were obviously tough without him. But I've just been proud of how he's taken care of himself, the way he comes to work every single day. And I love being around George and love having him on our team.
Gary Kubiak was here today.
Hey, same sentiment, man. I love having George on the team. Thank God we didn't trade him. I feel so stupid. I'm not gonna lie to you, that George Kittle take that I had is so fucking dumb. But I'm so glad that I moved on from that. My God, that take was terrible. George Kittle, man, is like, even when we're losing, dude, he is like the heart and soul of this culture. He's the heart and soul of keeping things together, regardless of how bad this season is. He does often reference, like, I've had losing seasons, I've had terrible situations, etc. Kittle is that guy, man. I'm so glad we had him. I'm glad that they didn't listen to me at the time. I'm so happy about that.
Is it more business or pleasure? And he's a guy I'm sure you admire. Do you bend a guy like that's ear and talk football with him?
I mean, not really. I mean, I'm close with Coob. I mean, gave me a big start, gave me my first position job and coordinator job a long time ago. Known him most of my life, and he's here, I think, visiting his son and his granddaughter, and probably it's nice to get out of the house a little bit every once in a while and come watch some football. So he's welcome up here anytime. Kind of. I wasn't a very good babysitter. So usually when people say that, it was more because I was around and my younger sister did it for me.
Gauntlet the last 2 weeks on the road. You have obviously an opponent coming up that's been struggling. How do you keep the guys motivated and not taking this week lightly, basically?
Because we don't see Chicago any different than these last 2 teams we played. I know their record's not the same, but I mean, there's a fine line between your record and what a team's capable of. This team was 4-2, would have been 5-2 if they didn't give up a Hail Mary. They had 2 bad games, which led them to 4-4. And then they played 3 of the best teams in the NFL and lost by a total of 7 points. And the film is very real. And all you got to do is have them see the film, which I showed first thing Wednesday morning. And that's all you need to get their attention.
Good point. That's a good point. I mean, he's not wrong. Like the Bears are in turmoil. They're fired their head coach, but like if it wasn't for that Hail Mary, right? And maybe even potentially if it wasn't for Caleb Williams doing that audible, right? Because he's the reason why they lost the Lions. They were in field goal range. They could have made something happen. The coach should have called a timeout. Like, what the fuck are you doing, Caleb? 33 seconds, and they killed the entire clock. You needed to call a timeout there. That's like the one thing the head coach needed to do. Needed to take that loss right there. But Caleb Williams was the reason they lost that game against the Lions. But I tried. Are they in the same division? Are the Bears and the Lions in the same division? And I always argue that divisional games are not the same as other games. So I do. It doesn't matter how good the Lions are, and it doesn't matter how bad the Bears are. That would always, most likely 90% of the time, it's always a good game and it's always tight. It rarely happens that a team actually blows out a divisional rival. Cardinals did it this year, obviously, against the Rams, but like you can almost count on a division game, regardless of where they're at in the year, to be tight. So that was Kyle Shanahan's presser, the final one before the Bears. I'm not gonna lie to you. He had me in the first half. He had me in the first half. The first half of that one was driving me nuts, dude. I'm pretty sure I just lost years of my life. I feel numbness in my fucking left arm here. Just I don't understand Kyle's obsession with Debo. Like, does Debo get Kyle in like in a special club somehow or something? Because there's this certain special treatment that Debo gets, and he doesn't deserve it. And that's my biggest frustration. It's like, it's almost as if, am I taking crazy pills? Is there something I'm missing here? That press conference for us. And that was Kyle Shanahan's press conference. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate y'all. All right. Let's get some last thoughts, final thoughts right now before we get out of here. Almost a 2-hour show, y'all. This was almost a 2-hour show. You guys are fucking awesome, dude. You guys are awesome. No doubt, dude. King Mufasa in the house. There was someone else in here, too. 559er in the house. I don't know who that is, but welcome. New guy, new person. What up? What does he say? I like sample size for Ricky thus far. At the moment, it feels like an okay comeback. Yeah, I mean, you can't expect much from him for everything he's been through and the lack of reps that he had. It's just not fair. And I don't know who said that, but someone says, Karen said Garendo is a track champion. Use him, use his speed. I know you could use him on jet sweeps. Why not? I guess people would see that coming because he is the running back, but you're right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Welcome to the stream, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. Fortnite Spurs says, I want to get Ricky more involved. I totally agree with you on that. I thought this fucking comment was hilarious. We need more Debo, like we need more cowbells. I feel like every time we have 50 plus, okay, I went far back. I went too far back. This defense sucks worse than ever. It does. I don't expect this defense is going to break a lot, man. It's going to be up to Brock and this offense to try to get this W. Watch Garendo have an 80-yard run only for Debo to fumble on the first and go on a jet sweep. Fucking dude, for real. Or for some reason, Juszczyk suddenly has butterfingers because he hasn't fumbled the ball since 2018. Like, unreal, dude. Unreal stuff. Bills was the same. They had 5 straight trips to the Bills side of the field and came away with 3 points. We wouldn't have won, but it would have looked a lot. It wouldn't have looked like that. Exactly. Like, it's just if you look on paper, the score 35, I think it was to 10. It looks terrible. It looks terrible. But there was opportunities. You're right, Strawberry, 100%. There was aspects of that game where it could have looked better. The score could have been different. Same thing, Green Bay. It was just it's the shots in the foot throughout the entire year that has been that has set this team for failure. Like, if everything that happened to this team and the 49ers did not shoot themselves in the foot as much as they have, this team would probably have 8 wins right now. Like, we would have, if we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot, we would beat the Rams. If we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot, we would have beat the Cardinals. If we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot, we would have beat the Seahawks. That's 8 wins. So it kind of is a testament to the game plan necessarily being there, that there is something there that is great. It's just that we are just even better at just beating ourselves up. So there is something there. We just have to stop with this shooting ourselves in the foot shit. Just got to stop that. No doubt, no doubt. The day Kittle's sad is the day the world ends. If I see a tear coming from Kittle's face, man, Armageddon. You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. Kyle will just, no doubt, no doubt. So Kyle has to do something else to do the job for him. Something, dude. It's because Kyle's seen what he is capable of in the past. I know it's got to be that, dude. It has to be like, but at some point you got to wake up. At some point you got to wake up. It's not there anymore, dude. He's just not the same player, dude. Yeah, you too, Brian. It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. You just got to have some dirt on Kyle. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. It's got to be something like that, dude. Kyle's all the time like go favorite players like Elijah Mitchell and Debo. Yeah, that's true. He does have – once a player hits a certain tier, and I've said this before, but once a player hits a certain tier, they never leave that tier in Kyle's eyes. It never happens. Bill beat cut players all the time. He didn't care. I know, I think Bill would have got rid of Debo by now for sure. I don't think he would have re-signed him. Kyle signed Ronnie Bell. I honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The OGs know where I stand with Ronnie Bell, how I believed in him. I believed in his potential. I do think Ronnie Bell can be a good wide receiver. It's just, he's good at route running, I think. He's good at blocking. He could do everything but catch the ball. He can literally do everything but catch the ball. That one pass where he threw the ball, where Brock Purdy threw the ball, and Ronnie Bell wasn't in the right place because Ronnie Bell was trying to get open. I think that if Brock Purdy knew that Ronnie Bell was going to cut down there, and that's true. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. I think it's against Arizona. I can't remember what game it was, but he cut down and it became a crucial interception. That would have been a great play. And that's what it takes, cohesion there. Like, okay, I feel like Bell's going to come down here and do this. I don't put too much on Bell for that. I think that was just a miscommunication thing. So, like, there is potential there, but, like, he drops balls all the time. Clutch ones. He's the reason why we lost against the Rams. He's the reason why we lost games. And it's like, if you just learn to catch the fucking ball, you would probably be a good wide receiver. You really would, in my eyes. But I can't defend him this year. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Ronnie Bell catches the game-winning TD. I'm manifesting it. Redemption arc, y'all. Redemption arc. Elijah Mitchell saying Ollie was healthy. He was just never healthy enough at times. Yeah, he's injury prone, dude. When he's on the field, he's good. But you can count on him pretty much to get injured. Baby Ronnie Bell needs to go on defense if he can't catch. I know, you think he'd be like a corner. Like, turn him into a corner. Maybe. You know, like maybe just turn him into a corner. He could do that if he can run routes with the best of them, he could block. I guess blocking isn't required. Just something. There's something there for Ronnie Bell. I do believe that. But I can't defend him this year. I just can't. He isn't active. They didn't elevate him from the practice squad. Oh, okay. Actually, that's what I thought. That's what I thought was happening when you guys said that. But all right. Well, it's a good thing. Keep him off the team. Still keep him off the team. I understand that we get destroyed when he's not on the team. But let's move on. Let's move on. Bell special. I don't even think on special teams, dude. Like, I think there wasn't a muff punt he was involved in. I think there's a muff punt he was involved in. He dropped the very first punt return he had. He's not. I'm not purposely disagreeing with you, Filthy. Like, I'm not purposely doing that, but I just don't think even as a special teamer, he's not the answer. He's just not the guy. But all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys were awesome. Let me go. My final the things we covered. Obviously, we talked about Philly Couch has not return a blocker or a gunner. Maybe that'd probably be a better option for him for sure. I agree with that, but just keep him away from the ball. So we talked about everything there. All the players coming back. We just watched Kyle Shanahan's presser. We talked about the game and how important this game is. And then, of course, Brock Purdy's going to get a massive contract. That is from via Ia Rappaport. It's going to happen. It's just how much is he getting, though? We'll see. Is he going to take a discount? I don't know. Hopefully. If there's any quarterback in the league to take a discount, it would be him based on his character from what I've seen. Fingers crossed. Hopefully so. But keep in mind, guys, the moment that he gets signed, no matter what he gets paid, discount or not, someone is going to turn it into a bad thing. It's just like, just to reiterate what I said, if he gets paid less, someone's going to say, see, even he doesn't believe that he's that good. If he gets paid too much, people are going to say the 49ers are dumb to pay him. There is no getting away from the haters. It's just always going to be a thing forever. Literally, Brock Purdy would have to win 6 to 7 Super Bowls to get this stigma off them. There's just no way around it. So, all right, let me go and bounce and get out of here. Strawberries, one last. Seems to be more ahead for sure. Maybe since they drafted 2 wide receivers, he knew the spot was on the team was fluid. Maybe he could have just been like, okay, this is my time, and then that pressure was just too much for him. And if that's the case, then you're just not a good wide receiver. And that's just not it. But that's possible for sure. All right, guys. Thank you, King Mufasa. You're awesome. Papa J, OG. You're the best mod a fucking channel could ask for. You're awesome. Strawberry Reacts, as always. Love your takes, man. Appreciate you coming in here. Filthy Casual. Hope to see more of you. You're awesome, too. Juan, awesome. Love you. Good to see you. Good to see you. 49er Brian, good to see you. I love fans regardless, pouring water in the cup. And what I mean by that is some people look at the cup empty, and sometimes the cup is empty. But sometimes you get fans, get people just pouring a little bit of water in there and being like, hey, at least, I believe a little bit. Oh, hey, this is a good thing here. Stuff like that. I appreciate that. I always appreciate putting water in the cup. We got one. I appreciate you guys. I said all that. There's someone else I'm missing. Karen, as always, thank you so much. You're awesome. 49er Sports was in and out, dude. Good to see you. Good to see you. I might go live. I don't know for sure. Don't hold me to it. But I don't have the 49ers game or Seahawks game on TV, so I probably won't. But we'll see. Sam Fam Gamer, good to see you, Sam. Good to see you, Samuel. Good to see you. Good to see you. Who else? There was somebody else. Val, of course. Oh, I forgot Val. That would have been bad. That would have been bad. I can't leave. I leave no one behind. I leave no one behind. I leave no one behind. There was somebody else. I swear to God. No, I think that's everybody. I'm stalling. I'm stalling hard. I know. Tyler. Hey, that's who it was. It was Tyler. Tyler was up in here. Best Chiefs fan I know. Respect to him, man. Great guy, dude. Good to have you. That is everyone. Thank you so much for making this stream awesome. This channel is nothing without you guys. Truly. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You guys made this channel so fun. I'm not even kidding. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for helping me grow. You guys are cool. To everybody who watches this later and you're not subbed, please sub. I make content just about every single day, and I go live at least like 3 or 4 times a week. So we can always chit-chat it, because what this channel is all about is just having a great conversation. We don't always get to everything, but as long as we have a good conversation, we had a good live. That's all that matters. Like the live. If you hate everything else, but you love this live for some reason, hit that like button. It makes my 49ers heart go from here to here. Yeah. All love, family. I'll see you next live. Bang, bang, Niner gang.